Hey, so today, or the day I'm filming this, is the 1st of March 2017, which marks exactly 1 year since I came out as trans. Which is crazy to think about because it's gone past just so quickly. So obviously, you read the title, you saw the thumbnail, you know what the video's about. I already planned on filming this video at some point, I didn't know exactly when, but since I realised that it was almost a year since I came out, this seemed like the most appropriate time to make it. So obviously, as you know, I came out properly a year ago. But I actually came out when I was 11 years old to a good friend of mine. Basically, from what I can remember, I was at a friend's house and she had like bunk beds, so she was on the top and I was on the bottom. She was asleep and I was talking to my friend Chloe on BBM, Blackberry Messenger, good old days. And I don't know, I think it might have been one of those situations where like it's late at night, your brain starts thinking of things. That's normally when conversations get deep and shit. But the way that I put it to her was basically like, you know, what if I want to be a boy? Obviously the only words that I could use to describe it because I didn't really understand much about being trans and stuff then. And she basically just said, so what, if that's how you are, that's how you want to be, then that's fine, no one will care. And I don't remember what the rest of the conversation was like, I don't think we really talked about it that much, but I woke up in the morning and realised I'd sent her the message and it was just like instant regret. So I basically messaged her back and said, I don't know what we're on about, I was being stupid or just joking, basically any excuse to take it back, because I think in my mind it was like, well, it's out there now, like somebody knows, it's not just me thinking it, like this is a reality, I didn't want it to be like real. So yeah, I retracted it and we never spoke about it since. But yeah, between that time and me being, I think either 11 or 12 and then 17, so like 5 or 6 years, there were occasions where it would pop up in my head and I'd start thinking about it and then I'd stop myself and I'd push it down and I'd do something else to distract myself and just be like, if I don't think about it, it's not real. Because obviously I was worried about being seen as like a freak or not being accepted, even though I know my family's really accepting. You know, there's always still that little bit of a doubt in your mind, like what if they're not, what if they're accepting of everything but this, which for some people is the case. So yeah, I pushed it down for a good 5 or 6 years, depending on which age I came out. I can't remember if it was 11 or 12, I know it was one of those. Until probably like 4, 5, maybe 6 months before I actually came out to everybody. And I actually allowed myself to think about it and to research it, and like in little steps. At first I'd just do it a little bit and then I'd go back to distracting myself and doing something different, until like it got to the stage where like some days I'd just sit and research it. Any spare time that I had when I was on my own on my phone or on my laptop or whatever, I'd just look up things, I'll find out about the process, and I wanted to know that I had every answer to every question my mum and dad or anybody else would ask me, because I didn't want it to seem like I'd just gone, oh, by the way, I'm trans, and not known about the process and been really aware of what that means. You know, I researched how to get things started, who I needed to speak to, about gender clinics, how long it takes to get on testosterone, how long it takes between testosterone to get top surgery and bottom surgery, different kinds of top surgery, different kinds of bottom surgery, changes that come with T, everything. I was trying to find like pictures of results, like comparison from people being on testosterone, that were really cool to watch, and that really like filled me with hope. I was watching comparison videos of people who had been on testosterone for a while and seeing what changes would happen, seeing, you know, the negative sides as well as the positive sides, because there's never just the one positive. There's always got to be some negatives in there as well. It's about weighing up the pros and cons with any situation. I also looked at top surgery results, different kinds of top surgery, what I would qualify in terms of my chest size. Obviously the risk factors involved with operations, the positives and how well the healing process goes and that sort of thing. I was looking at bottom surgery to see in the future what kind of thing I think I would like to have. I found a lot of results for metoidioplasty but not really that many for phalloplasty. And when they were kind of unfinished results as well. And YouTube was my biggest saviour when it came to researching things and feeling confident enough to come out and to accept myself before I actually came out to anybody. And when I was researching phalloplasty, I actually came across a trans guy's videos called Billy Joe Newington. And he said in the video that his Facebook was below if you want to message him, ask for any questions, if you wanted to see results as well. So I messaged him and we talked for a while and I asked him like a million questions and he was really nice about it. He also sent me a picture of his results from phalloplasty, so nothing like talking to another trans guy for the first time and seeing his dick. Nice. But that was a massive help. And being able to reach out to somebody and get that sort of input and information from somebody who's actually experiencing this and is going through the same thing, that was really helpful. And I still talk to him now, I still watch his videos, it's really awesome. I'll leave his channel link in the description as well, because he does make really informative videos. At the minute it's more about the fact that he's going through the final stages of phalloplasty. But yeah, his videos are really good. It's a really sound guy, so if you want to go and check him out, I'll leave his link in the description. Also, YouTube in general, just seeing other trans guys making videos about their experiences about certain things, educating people, and that helps me a lot as well. You know, trans guy YouTubers like Chase Ross, Ty Turner, Alex Bertie were the first ones that I saw, and they helped me a lot, and that's actually the reason that I started making videos, is because I knew how much that helped me, how much that gave me the confidence to accept myself. But those three, along with many other trans guys who have made videos, were actually the inspiration for me starting making videos. And the thing about these videos is that they're usually just from one person's perspective. So if you watch 5 videos about the same thing by different people, you normally get a little bit of extra information from each person. Things that they found works for them if it's tips. Things that they've experienced, sort of effects that they have on testosterone, that sort of thing. So it's actually really helpful for me to watch a video about the same thing by like 10 different people and then get like an extra tip from each person. So even if somebody's researching things and looking for things and they've come across one of my videos and it only gives them one extra thing, that's an extra thing that might really help them. So yeah, anyway, after about, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 months of research, it was kind of just a waiting game for when I felt I was comfortable and the day that I thought I was ready and I was like, right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna tell them. And it's weird because that day is like so vivid in my memory. So the day before I actually stopped over at my nan's house and I was gonna go to a cooking class that I did through my mental health group from my nan's. So that morning I got up, I went to the chemist and put a prescription in, and while that was getting sorted out and everything, I went over to the barber's and got my hair cut because it was getting a bit long and a bit messy. So once I got my hair cut, I went over to the chemist to go and pick up my prescription, and it was such a weird situation to be in. I went to the counter and the woman that was supposed to be behind the counter was at the side and she was talking to somebody. And she looked over at me and she said, "Oh, sorry, I've got to go and serve this young lad." So this is the first time that I knowingly, at least, passed as male. Bearing in mind, I wasn't bind at that point, my chest was a double D. I was wearing a very stereotypically feminine style coat and clothes, but I still passed. And it was so crazy to me that I'd woke up that morning saying, that's it, when I get home tonight, I'm going to go and talk to mum and dad, I'm just going to get it over and done with, I'm ready, let's do it. And that was the first day that I passed. So obviously I went up to my nan's and I was so happy. The worst thing is I couldn't even share it though because they'd not come out to mum and dad yet. And although I wanted to go, oh, I went to chemist and she thought I were a guy and that's amazing, I wasn't out to her, so she'd probably been like, why is that a good thing? So anyway, I went and got dressed, went and got the bus to my cooking class. And when the cooking class were finished, I rang my dad to come and pick me up because he actually works right next to where the class was. And he finished at about the same time, so he came and picked me up in the car and we went home. So we got home and I felt completely ready and confident to tell him. I knew what I was going to say. I was just ready and I'm like, let's just do it. No worries at all. Let's just get it over and done with. So probably about half an hour since we got home. I went upstairs into my mum and dad's room and I sat on the bed and I said I wanted to talk to my mum and my dad. And my dad was out of the room, so we waited for him to come back. And I was all ready and pumped and not even the slightest bit nervous to tell him. Until they were both sat there and they went, go on then. And it was like all of a sudden like a bomb hit my stomach and the nerves just like hit me all at once. And I just like completely froze, I couldn't say anything. I got upset because I was just like so nervous and I was like, shit, this is actually reality, it's actually happening right now. I think I said something along the lines of like, I don't want you to be like disappointed in me or something, but I couldn't physically say it, so my mum just said, you know, text me. So my mum was literally sat like at the side, like to the front of me, and I just texted 2 words. I just put, I'm transgender. And she looked at the phone, she turned it around and showed my dad, and she just kind of went, so I was sat here like crying and like shitting myself at what they were going to say. Even though I knew my mum and dad were really supportive, and they actually came out as bisexual just short of a year before I came out as trans. And they were absolutely fine, they laughed and joked about it. They've never been the type to be like homophobic or transphobic or anything like that. They're really accepting of pretty much everyone. But yeah, my mum was just like, so, you know, why does that make a difference if you're a daughter or a son? We're never going to be disappointed in you. If that's who you are and that's how you're happy, then, like, what's the problem? Do you know what I mean? And it was like a huge relief, but so weird to hear him react like that. Like, I instantly felt way more comfortable talking to him about it, but it was also like, how could you react like so? It was just the most amazing reaction. I wasn't prepared for it at all. So yeah, I kind of calmed down and we spoke a little bit about things. And my mum was sort of asking, you know, do you know if you want to be on like hormones and have operations and things? And I'm like, yeah, eventually, but it's going to take a long time. It's like a long wait. She asked me if I'd given any thought to what kind of name I'd be wanting to use, because my birth name is very much a female name. It's not like a unisex name at all. And I just said, yeah, Jaden. And my mum's reaction to that was the best. She was like, Jaden? Why? Like, at first she really didn't like the name. But she got used to it. And she mainly called me, and still calls me Jay. But yeah, she really didn't like the name at first. A few of her family members actually didn't like it. My brother hated it. But I suppose you gotta get used to it because that's my name and it's legally my name now. So yeah, we sat and talked about things for a little while. I think I actually kind of scared him a little bit because I was just so relieved to finally have said something to him, because I'd known for such a long time and I'd been researching things for all this time, I kind of pent up all this information that I just wanted to like blurt out. So I kind of told them about everything and anything, and like binders and packers and pretty much every information you can get from like researching. I just like threw at them in like 5-10 minutes time, and they were sort of like, okay, yeah, let's just like slow down for a second, you've literally just told us, which I completely understand. I think it was just the fact that I'd researched and been waiting so long to finally get up the courage to tell somebody. Once I had and I felt comfortable, I was just like spewing nonsense about everything. So yeah, that was how I come out to my mum and dad, and I actually didn't come out to the rest of my family. They know, but I didn't come out to them. It actually ended up being my mum that came out to the rest of the family for me, just because she goes over to my nan's like 1 day a week, and like my aunties and my cousins and stuff go. So it's kind of like a little family reunion like once a week, and that just so happened to be the day after I came out. So my mum went, she just told everyone about it, and they were all like fine with it, and they were all like, oh okay. So everyone started to try and call me Jay or Jaden and he him pronouns. Obviously there were a lot of slip ups because they'd literally just been told and started using this name and pronouns, and when you've been calling somebody one thing for 17 years, it's obviously hard to adjust. And she also told my brother and pretty much the rest of my family, and yeah, everyone was amazing and really cool with it. I think she said when she told my brother, it was like, yeah, he's more like a boy anyway. So I mean, it wasn't a surprise to a lot of people. They knew, like, they got that I was like quite masculine and quite sort of tomboyish, but no one really ever made that association between that and me maybe being trans. But yeah, I'm just really happy to have such an amazing and accepting family that will be by my side through everything and don't care whether I'm male or female, just the fact that I'm their family, and that's all that matters. I know some people have families that sort of don't disown them and aren't like horrible about it, but they don't use their name or pronouns and just won't make an effort. And luckily that's not happened. Like, all of my family at least tries the best to use my name and pronouns. So yeah, it's really great. And yeah, that's pretty much the story of how I came out. Most normal people would probably say it out loud or maybe write in a letter. Not that many people sit next to their parents and text them. But yeah, this last year has just like flown past. I didn't even realise until about a couple of weeks ago that it was nearly a year either. I think someone commented on one of my videos and they asked me something, and then they asked how long it was that I came out, and I kind of did the maths and I was like, bloody hell, it's nearly been a year. So it's strange that it's been that long and I've not even noticed, but it's also really reassuring for the fact that I have approximately a year left on the waiting list for the gender clinic. So if this next year goes as fast as this last year, I'll be so happy. But anyway, that's the story of how I came out. I'm sorry if this video was quite long, but if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to see more from me. Thank you for watching, come along my journey, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.